This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, let us start the today's session. So, in the yesterday's class, what we have discussed, we have seen yesterday about how do we activate the license in order to work upon this Tosca. After completing the installation process, we have seen how do we activate the license so that we can start working on Tosca. So now after activating the license and after opening the Tosca Commander, this is how the home page of the Tosca Commander looks like. So once this is looking like this, so now what needs to be done? You need to be creating a project if you want to work upon this. So when you want to create a project, what do you need to do? So the simple thing is you need to click on a project. After clicking on the project, guys, just tell me one thing. Is my voice echoing? I mean, is there any resound of my voice?
No,
Sir,
sir.
Okay, I think some problem. I think I could hear only my voice in back, so that's why that's no problem there. So you need to click on the project, and after clicking on the project, there is an option called new. See, after activating the license, as I have told you, each and every option would be enabled over here. And once this is enabled over here, you need to please click on this new option if you want to create a new project. Just click on this new option. So as soon as you have clicked on this new option, you could see a modal window has got opened, and this modal window is just to create a project, whatever you want to work upon. So in this, there are multiple inputs that we need to be giving. In this multiple inputs, so we will be seeing what are the different kinds of workspaces. So in Tosca, whatever the project that you are creating, it is called as a workspace. Means where exactly you are going to allocate the space for your work which you are trying to work upon. So this is the workspace. Now, before telling you about types of workspaces, I need to tell you there are two types of workspaces, means single user workspace and multi-user workspace. So first of all, let us understand what is single user workspace. Here the first option you could see select the type of repository and it is saying as none, means there is a drop down. There are multiple things. If you see in the drop down, there are multiple options like SQLite, Oracle, DB2, MS SQL Server. See, you could see the names of the databases. These names of the databases are present under as a repository. If you can remember the demo session which I have given, in the demo I have told you repository means storage or a database where your project will get stored. Means whatever the project that you are creating, it will go and store in a repository. So repository means a database. See, now the justification, there are different databases which we can use as a repository. But for now, what we are doing is we are going with a single user workspace. Means if I do not select any database, please remember, if I do not select any repository or if I do not select any database, it is going to be treated as single user workspace. What is single user workspace means? Whatever the project that you are creating, it will be only accessible by you because now we are located at different places and everyone has their own laptop and everyone will create their own project and they will work on this Tosca. So when you are doing that, I mean, if you create a single user workspace, only you yourself can access the project what you have created. Others cannot be able to see the project what you have created in a single user workspace. Means it is can be accessible only by a single person, right? We will not be selecting any database over there. Then what is called as a multi-user workspace? Simple thing, single user workspace means only one person can access that, no one will be able to see. Multi-user workspace means whatever the project that we are going to create as a multi-user workspace. How do you create multi-user workspace is simple. For a single user we are not selecting any database. For a multi-user workspace you can select any database like SQLite, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2. You can select any database. Now, can you see, as soon as I have selected this database as a storage or a repository, the input places has changed and there are various options, right? So in real time, please remember, in real time, in offices, in the projects, when you are working on this Tosca, whatever the projects that the companies are creating, that will be a multi-user workspace, because multi-user workspace means in a project there might be 10 people. See, every 10 people wants to access the same project, right? They want to access this Tosca and they want to access the project which is created for everyone. Means at that point of time, they cannot create a single user workspace. So what they can create? Instead, they can simply create a multi-user workspace. When they are creating a multi-user workspace, they can select any database. It is not like only MS SQL Server. It is not like Oracle. It is not like DB2. They can select anything. So whenever they select any kind of repository as a database, or as a storage space, now they need to fill these values. Means, what is this schema? Schema means basic thing. For every database, there will be one schema. On this schema name only, they will be building the database. Correct, right? How the database? What is the storage space? It is a database. So how come my database will be built? It should have some schema name, client, Oracle client 11G versions, dynamic server name, host name, port address, and all these things. It should be built upon a server. Then only a database will be built. So when you select any kind of database, you need to enter the schema name of that particular database. Now you can ask me, Madhav, how do I come to know that what inputs I need to give? So in the real time, in the companies, in the projects, when you are working, they will only give you all the details in order to create a repository. The only one and important job for you is you need to know how do you create. That's it. They will give you all the details because you are a new joinee to the company. You do not know what is there in that company. So what they will do, they will give you all the details. You just need to do create a workspace with all these details what they have given. Right? You need to fill the schema name. This is an optional which is not required. Then there is something called connection string. What is connection string means? I am telling that I am going to create a project and this project is going to store in a database. So if I want to store my project in a database, first of all, I want to connect it to the database, right? Simple thing. I'll give you a small example. If you want to listen to the class, right, you will be connecting to the go-to meeting. We have a go-to meeting. You are planning to listen to the class, but if you don't connect to the go-to meeting, will you be able to listen to the class? No. Same thing. I am trying to create a project and I am asking or saying that I want to store my project in a database, but I should connect. Without connecting I can't store. So what should I do? I need to connect to the database. So in order to connect to the database, you need to fill the inputs in the connection string. How your input will look like is, I'm just clicking on this question mark. It looks like this. See, server details means for the database you will have the server address, user ID, password. Database means port number, host name, user ID, password. All these details you will be using in order to connect to the connection string. Simple thing. Like if you want to connect to the go-to meeting, you will be using your username, password, or login credentials, whatever it is, in order to connect to the go-to meeting. In a similar way, I am also trying to connect to the database, whatever I have selected here. And after that, I will click on this test connection. Right now, I do not have any database installed in my system, and this is not a company. So whatever I am creating, it will not be accessible by everyone, right? So this is how basically you create a multi-user workspace, and these are the same options. Creates new workspace. This is the path where exactly your project is going to be saved, and this is the name of the project what you are creating, and you need to click on OK. This is a very simple thing to create a project. Okay, but the most important thing we need to remember is how many types of workspaces are there. Single user workspace, multi-user workspace. Single user workspace means only single person can create and access. Multi-user workspace means we need to use any existing repository as a database and it can be accessible by multiple people. Single user workspace will be accessed by only single person. There will be no repository. So this is how you need to create a project. So for now, for our training purpose, what I am going to do is I am going to create a project with the single user workspace. If I want to create a single user workspace, I should not select any repository. There is an option called none. So I'm just using single user workspace. Now can you see, I have just selected create single user workspace. Done. The next thing, see Tosca projects, Tosca workspaces. This is the by default path where exactly your project will be going and storing over there. So I'm just trying to continue to use the same path over there, right? If you want to change, you can change it by browsing. Whatever the details you want, you can change it. But why to change? So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to use the same path to create my workspace. And after that, you have one more thing called select a new name for the workspace. Means what is the name of the project that you are going to give, right? What is the name of the project? Which name you are going to select to the project? You just need to give that name to your workspace. So what I'm going to do is the name of your project is, for example, uh, batch 14 November December. So batch 14 November December is the sample name which I have created. It is not mandatory. You can create your own name of the project. Whatever name you want, you just create, give that name. So it will create a project with that name. Now, before clicking on OK, do not click on OK directly. There is a most important point that you need to remember here. See, there is a checkbox which is asking or saying use workspace template. You just need to click on this on checkbox. Please click on this checkbox, use workspace template. When you clicked on this use workspace template, you could see a path C drive, Tosca projects, Tosca commander, standard.tsu. What is this standard.tsu means? If you remember the demo session, I have told you that Tricentis used Agile Enterprise methodology to build Tosca, and Tricentis used model-based data-driven framework to in which a predefined functionalities means as part of predefined functionalities, Tosca has given us some standard predefined functionalities means there is no need of creating new things on your own. I mean, it doesn't mean that all the new things are not required. Only certain new things, it is of no need for us. Tricentis has already developed that certain new things and they have given to us. So, if you want to include that certain new standard predefined functionalities given by Tricentis to us, you need to click on this checkbox. If you do not click on this checkbox and you create a project, you will not be able to use the standard predefined functionalities, right? So without forgetting, without any confusion, just please click on this checkbox called use workspace template to get the standard functionalities included in your project. Now, there might be few people who might forget it, and after creating they will remember that I have forgotten to click on this checkbox. Then if you come back and ask me that I forgot, so how do you need to get this? So you can't get these standard modules or predefined functionalities again back to your workspace, back to the same workspace, because you have forgot. But there are alternative methods, like again you need to go to the support portal. Yesterday we have gone, right? You need to go to the support portal. There you need to see, they need to search for a aid pack. There will be one a zip file called aid pack, and you need to download that aid pack zip file into your machine. You need to unzip it, then you need to import that into your project. You need to do this much of things in order to get the standard modules again back into your project. So few people will can do it. If they forget whatever the procedure I have said, so go to the support portal, download the 8pack.tce, unzip it, import that into your project. Instead of doing all these things, just click on this checkbox. No need of remembering about the alternative methods, right? Now, apart from this, there is something called standard.tsu, right? I'm saying the standard predefined functionalities, so that will be included in my project. So that is a file, right? Whatever you are including, it will be coming in a form of a file. See, what is the name of the file? Standard.tsu. You are seeing this extension for the first time, so please remember this. TSU stands for Tosca subset. means whenever you want to import a file, I mean, or include a file into your project, or if you want to export a file or share a file with someone, the file will be always stored with a extension called TSU. TSU stands for Tosca subset. Subset means, basically, simple example I'll be giving you. Subset means a part of the file or a small snippet or a piece of functionality which is included as part of a file, that is called as subset. So now you have included that subset into your project, and then you click on this OK button. After clicking on this OK button, it just takes only 1 to 2 minutes. See, creating new workspace. You just see folders created. See, importing workspace, whatever you have included checkbox, it is importing now. That standard.tsu, it is asking please wait. I think in a, see, everything is importing. Subset finished, task import finished, workspace everything created. So your project has been created successfully, and directly you will be navigated back to your project. Straight away you will be navigating back to your project. Your project will be opened. Whatever the project that you have created, that will be opened. So it is taking time as we have created a new project, so it is trying to load all the functionalities and the sections inside this, and it will try to display in front of us. Yes, now can you see your project has been opened successfully? This is the place. This is the place which is called as your project. I mean, this is how your project looks like. This is the properties section. But now, if you remember, in the demo session I have told you, Tricentis is followed agile enterprise methodology. Means if you want to, means some rules or set of guidelines which are followed by an enterprises or the companies in order to achieve the work faster. In order to achieve the work faster, so what Tosca has done is they have differentiated or segregated all the sections into multiple things, so that what happens is everything will become simple and everything will be segregated, so that it becomes easy for your practice or maintenance, usage, and any new imports. So now can you see each and every section is segregated. Now this is the ribbon bar which we have got. This is the project. If you want to go back again, like you are into your project, if you want to come outside of your project, again you just need to click on this project, then click on close. So please remember, never ever directly close the Tosca commander with the close cross button which is at the top right corner. Please remember guys, this is the most important things, right? Do not directly close this via this cross button. Just click on your project, just click on this close button, and then you will be navigated to home page. Then you can click on this, right? But straight away do not click on anything kind of things. Now can you see this is the ribbon bar, this is the home page where there are multiple options. As I told you something, right? Import subset, export subset. If you want to import any file, you just need to include this import subset, right? So you see like this. Okay. If you want to export a subset, you can just need to click on this and share the file with anyone, right? There are now, if you want to search anything, you can search. This is your complete project. Forget, this is a scratchbook. Do not worry about this. I'll tell you in detail. If you want to search any object, they can use this. So, okay, I'll tell you in detail. Do not worry about all these things. But the most important point that you need to concentrate upon is the concept of this team. There is a section called team. Can you see here? Team. And there is all the options are disabled. Can you see? Each and every option is disabled. See now when I clicked on something also, every option is getting enabled, but these options are not getting enabled. So what is these options? why they are in disabled state, and what is the meaning of this, and when we need to, I mean, when you will be able to see that in the enabled state. So we need to understand this. First of all, what kind of project we have created? In a simple thing, we have created a single user workspace. Means whatever project that you have created will be accessed by you. It's only a single user workspace and it will store in your local machine. Correct? That is the reason you are seeing all these options in a disabled state. Right. Now you can ask me when I could see them in the enabled state. As I told you in the real time, when you create a project with a multi-user workspace means when all the people who can access the same project. Correct, right? Right now we have 10 to 12 participants in the class. If all these 12 participants are working for same company and same project, then everyone should be able to access the same project, right? Then you will be creating a multi-user workspace with any database selected, and then you will be able to see all these options enabled. So the reason is, please remember, because this is a trial version and this is a single user workspace, you are seeing them in the disabled. But in the real time, you would be seeing these options in the enabled state. Okay, this is an important point that you need to remember. The next thing, there are here multiple options here. Check in all, check out, check out tree, update all. What are these four different things? Why do I need to use these four different things? Here means simple thing. I'll give you a small example. First of all, you need to think from a point of view that you are working in a real time for any company. So you are in a project, you need to automate any application, you have got the Tosca access and all these things. You got the license activated and you created a project and you want to work upon. But here the most important point is, see where you are storing your project, you are storing the project in a database. So your complete project is getting stored in a database. When you want to work on a particular thing, what you want to do is you need to check out. Means, for example, right now this is all disabled in companies. If you want to, for example, if you want to work on these virtual folders, you just need to click on these virtual folders and then you need to click on this checkout. Means the meaning of checkout means when you click on checkout in the backend, Tosca will send an request to the database to please release the lock on this folder, virtual folders. Are you understanding? When you click on checkout in the backend, Tosca will send a request to the database. Why it is sending request to a database? Because your project is stored in the database. So everything is logged in the database. So Tosca is sending request to database and asking them to please open the log, release the request for this virtual folder. So and so person wants to work upon this folder. He has requested me. So please open the lock. So now what will happen? The lock will be opened and you will be able to see this. I mean, next to this folder, whoever has opened the lock, they will be able to see green color line, means indicating that that particular person is working upon that, right? So you will be able to see. Please remember all these points. Okay, these are important. So the lock will be opened and I will do whatever I want. I can create a new things. If I want to get the access for this test cases, please remember, if I want to get the access for this folder, I will click on this and I will check out, right? And then I can create whatever I want. I can create a folders, new things. I can delete, add, modify, create something, whatever I want to do, I can create. So whenever you want to work, the most important thing is you need to check out. Means you need to get this request open the gate, open the lock. Correct? Then there is something called checkout tree. Okay. Checkout and checkout tree. What is the difference, mother, between this checkout and checkout tree? A simple thing. If you want to get the access only for this particular folder, you can check out. But if you want to get the access completely the root folders means, see, if I want to get the access only for test cases, I need to do checkout. But if I want to get the access to standard model examples, virtual folders, views, everything, I mean, complete all the hierarchy from top to bottom, then you need to click on the checkout tree. Tree means Basically, a tree view means it will try to give the access for the complete root folder and all the subfolders and deep elements which are present inside there. So the point is when you click on checkout, you will get only the access for that particular thing. When you clicked on the checkout tree, you will be getting the complete root level access. Correct? Simple thing. When you want to work upon anything, please click on either the checkout or checkout tree and get the access. The database in which you are storing a project, it will open the log for you. You will work. And after working, at the top left corner, you have an option called save. Just click on save. So saving is also done. So simple thing, you created a project, opened a project, now you requested the database to open a log to work upon. You worked. After working, what you need to do, again you need to close the log, right? It's a simple thing. So what you need to do, again you need to click on this check in all. So when you click on this check in all, Tosca will send a request to the database to close or the log all the folders whatever has been created, means whatever the changes that you have made, it will be reflected and it will be stored into the database. It will log in the database. Simple thing, like lock and open and close the lock of our homes. If you want to enter, you will open the lock, go inside that, whatever you want to do, just clean it, paint, whatever works you want to do, you can do it in your home. And again, once you come out, you will just close the lock. It's a simple thing. If you want to work, open the lock by the help of checkout or checkout tree, and once you finish, do the check in all. This is the important point that everyone needs to remember. Then apart from this, there is something called update all. What is this update all? Why I need to use this update all? So I'm getting the access, opening the log, and I'm again closing the log. But what is this again update? Simple thing. So today now what I have done, for example, let us consider that Madhav and all these people are working in a same project. I have created three folders, one, two, three. I have created, I have saved, and I did a check-in all. Correct? After checking in all, now it is done. Now there are other people in the project, right? Right? We have Prakash, Krishna Priya, Sahitya, and all these things. Let us say that these are also the people who are working with me in the project. They should also know whatever the changes I have made, right? The simple thing. Whatever I did in my system, because it is a company's project or a client's project, everyone will be having the access. So whatever I have done, everyone should be able to see whatever I have done. So what they will do is in their machine, in their system, in Tosca, they will just click on this update all, right? If they click on this update all, whatever the three new things that I have created, it will be reflecting in their machines also. Means simple thing. For example, let us say that Kiran and myself are working in a project, right? So it's a simple thing. Simple example I'm just giving. Kiran and myself are working in a project. So in a same team, we are working. Now we both have got the two tasks, right? My manager or a lead or client gave me one task, and Kiran also almost the similar task. So we are working upon it. We are doing checkout, working, saving, and doing checking. But at the end of the day, what happens is, for example, today Kiran was on leave. So I do not know what Kiran has done in his machine. So he is not feeling well. Kiran was on leave and he is on his personal leave. So he is not reachable on his phone calls, not available on his messages or anything. Correct? So there might be some situations also. Your team, someone will be on leave, and how do you will know that what they have worked upon? And your manager is asking, because Kiran is on leave, can you also pick up the task which is created by Kiran? Can you please complete that? Or can you give me the status of what Kiran has worked? At this point of time, how do you know that what Kiran has worked, right? You need to know, right? So the most important thing daily, please remember, in the real time projects, daily after opening the Tosca, the first important thing that you need to do is you need to click on this update all. When you click on this update all, what will happen is whatever the new changes, right? Whatever the new changes are there in the project, that will be reflecting in your machine, right? So today, now I have created these three folders. Kiran will not be able to see these three new folders in his machine. When he will be able to see these three new folders in his system, once he clicks on this update on. So what will happen when I click on this update all means Tosca commander will send a request again to the database, right? Tosca commander will again send a request to the database saying, could you please send the latest updates and reflect in my machine? So Madhav has created, he has saved it, he checked it means check-in. Check-in means I did a check-in. Check-in means I completely saved my project into the database. Means my database is storing the new things also. But the other persons should also be able to see that, right? So to view that, they need to click on update all. In a similar thing, even Kiran created or Sahiti or Prakash created some new things or new test cases in their in our workspace. So if I also want to see, I need to click on update all, right? So this advantages of using this update all is it will save our time, it will reduce the rework. Simple logic. If you do not click on this update all, as I told in earlier example, right? Kiran was on leave and I forgot to click on update all. Manager is asking that we are not able to see Kiran working. He is on leave for 2 days. Can you please complete the task? So if I don't know what is this update all, what I will do? Again, I will start working upon what Kiran is working. Correct? I mean, Kiran might have completed 90% of the work and he went on a leave on a personal thing. And if I don't know the meaning of update all, what I will do? Because he is on leave and he is not answering, again I'll try to create the same thing. I'll try to create a duplicate. Again he will come back after 3 days. So after he comes back in the 3 days, I'll complete the work. Then he will ask me, Mother, why did you do all these things? I have already completed. What is the answer that you can give? So there is no answer, right? In order to reduce the rework, reduce the efforts, reduce the burden on the team members, you just need to do all the team members should be in sync. Everyone should have all the communication. So you need to click on this update all. Then you will be able to see what are the other changes done by the other team members. So this team section looks very simple, but this plays a crucial and the most important role in your project. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What about others?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. Thank you. Now, after this, what I'm planning to do is, see, there are different sections, test cases, modules, requirements, test case design. Like each and every section has got its own importance. So here there are few sections which are not required for us because let us say what are the sections which are not required for us is simple thing. There is a section called test planning. Test planning means basically you will be knowing this concept in the manual testing means whatever you are planning to test means the client or a manager they will give you a requirement. It means what exactly you want to test that will be coming as a requirement. After the requirement is given, this section is also not needed now because requirements will be given in the test management tool. What are the test management tools? Basically, we have ALM, Jira, Azure DevOps, Quality Center. So basically, these are the different test management tools which we have got in the market. So all the requirements will be stored and freezed over there in the management tools. So here your requirements will not be there. So we will not be discussing this requirement section. Now you can ask me, Madhav, then what is the use of this requirement section in Tosca is, see, because requirements are already present at another place, directly you will be using them only. Even though you are using this Tosca automation tool, it is not mandatory that you need to create all the requirements here. And the second thing is, Let us think that all the requirements are there here itself. See, how come client will give all the requirements in this Tosca? If he wants to give all the requirements here, he should have access to Tosca, right? Tosca access will not be given to everyone in that project. Only will be given to the automation testing team because it is a licensed version. For each license, they need to pay money to the scientists. So will they give all the access to all the people in the project? There will be some 70, 80 people in the project. Will they give to each and everyone? No. They will be giving only to the automation testing team. Automation testing team is like three people, four people, five people. Only for this five people, they will buy the license and they will give access. Correct? So they won't create the requirements in Tosca who is able to access by only five people. Means out of 100 people in the project, if they give create requirements which can be accessed by only five people, 5%, what is the use? They will try to create a requirements which can be accessed by 95% of the people. You will also have access to that. Requirements test management tool. So that is the reason we are not going to create requirements here. If you want to create requirements, you can create our own requirements here. In simple thing, whatever requirements they have created, I'll just copy paste here. Simple thing, nothing new. So that is why the reason there are some sections which are not required for us. This is one of that. But I'll also tell you in the last classes what is the requirement, how do you create a requirement. Then after giving a requirement, there is something called test planning. What is this test planning sessions? So basically, your manager or the lead will conduct this test planning sessions or a scrum masters on all these things. So do not worry about all these new terminologies which you are hearing it. So as you already knew it, Kalyan would be taking some few sessions or few hours of sessions on this terminologies of manual testing and what is the hierarchy or what is the process that companies are working under a testing team. So do not worry about this. You will be getting some basic idea. These terminologies might be new. Do not confuse. Does a test planning means simple thing. Whatever the requirement is given, what you are planning to test, what is the data, what is the inputs, what is the environment, what is the approach, how many days will it take, what is the scope, all these things will be decided in the test planning. So again, the test planning will not be done here. So we are not going to discuss this test planning session. There are another things like called issues and configurations. Like if you want to configure this Tosca with any distributed execution and all those things, you would be able to integrate or configure all the sections with this Tosca. These are the integrations which we can use upon. Like you can see something called flood. What is this flood here? If you want to do flood testing or mobile testing, you need to configure that flood devices or the mobile devices or API endpoints, right, in these configurations, right? I'll just tell you a simple example. I remembered one thing. You could see as Tricentis flood. Tricentis flood is also one more feature which Tricentis has developed. Now we all knew, right? The IPL is will be conducted each and every year. So before the live streaming, you will be seeing the IPL live on your desktops or laptops or phones. Before coming into the live, before the match starts and live production starts, the IPL live streaming is completely tested on this Tricentis flood. So IPL Hotstar, they have used Tricentis flood as the tool to test this IPL live streaming. So it is used in n number of places which we even not know, right? There are many things, right? And there is something called issues section. Issues means basically whenever you are testing it, you will find some defects or bugs, right? So when you find that defects or bugs, you can raise it here. But most probably, as I told you, we will be having a test management tool. All the things will be done there only. Your defects, stories, requirements, test planning sessions, test cases, functional test cases, everything will be there in the test management tool only. So this is also one of the sections which we will not be discussing, right? So I'm just closing off this. So here the most important things are modules, test cases, test case design, and execution. Please trust me, 95 to 98% of your daily work on Tosca means Whenever you open Tosca in your machine in a real-time project or a company, with these four sections, these are the four most important sections. These four sections will cover 95 to 98% of your work on a daily basis. So these are the four sections which you need to concentrate upon. You need to learn completely. I will teach you all these sections one after the other. And that's why as I have also placed them in an order. First, we are going to start with modules. Now, can you see, if you remember sometime back when we created a project, I clicked on the checkbox, right? Standard.tsu in some standard functionalities. This is the standard modules. See, can you hear? See, some basic functionalities are developed by Tricentis and given to us. Means if you want to perform any window operations, means if you want to take a screenshot in Tosca, if you want to send some keyboard commands, if you want to perform any window operations, if you want to perform any T-box save as, like if you, for suppose if you created a file and if you click, if you want to save, some dialog box will open, right? Like this. For example, I am opening a new text document. Okay, or else consider one more thing. I'll just show you. One second. I'm just telling you. See, if I open a new thing, so you opened a new thing, and if you clicked on Control S, because this is not saved, can you see? Yes, this can also be automated. The T-box save as means Toast has already developed T-box save as. Can you see? File path, button, file name, label, caption. Do not worry all these things. So there are some predefined functionalities. We'll discuss that. So which Tosca has already developed and given to us. So when you want to automate all these kind of things, Tosca has used given. That is what I told you. Please do not forget by clicking on the checkbox. So do not forget clicking on the checkbox, right? So the module section is the most important thing. From the next class, we will be starting and discussing about these modules. So modules, test case design, and execution section are the four sections which you need to concentrate upon. Right? Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Before close, yes, thank you. So before closing of this, I need to tell you one more thing. So you might install, you might create a project. For example, let us consider that by mistake, some or due to some uncertain circumstances, you might have closed this. You might have closed this. By mistake, let us consider that you have closed. Now, you can ask me a question, Madhu, I forgot and by mistake I have closed this. Now, how do I get back? So the answer is just click on this project. Okay. After you click on this project, can you see all the folders, whatever we have seen, everything is again visible. Now, I closed test case design. So what I need to do, just click on this, give a right click. There is a plus icon. So I'm just clicking on this. I'm just gonna, yes, I'm just gonna click on this test case design, right click, plus symbol, open in a new window. So it has opened, right? And again, I will click on this test case design, this one. Just give a right click. After you give a right click, you can see an option called doc as tabbed document. See, you have got this. Right? This is one method of doing. The another method of doing is there is something called section. Earlier we have clicked on project. There is another method called section. Just open this. Now what you want? You want execution, right? Just click on this. See, now you got the execution directly. Just click on this right click, doc as step. So it is as easy as that. That's what. There is no predefined method. In a simple sense, there is no single method present. There are multiple ways present to do a single task. So it depends upon our convenience and the process which we feel comfortable. So that's what I want to tell you. Even in future, whenever you forget by any mistake that you close some sections, you can just reopen or get them back and open them as it is, right? At this point, you might get some more doubt. Other, when we close this, does the data present inside this will also be gone? Even if you close and open, whatever you have created, it will be there as it is. Okay. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to end this recording for now for today. I'm going to stop the recording.